hungry for some revenge to get back into the finals another time, third time this year, and have a crack at a trophy.
It's time for Samsung match start, folks. Load up fast with Samsung SSDs. And on that note, Wyatt, in stark contrast to yesterday, these two teams have really similar map pools, right? Their best maps are Lotus, for example, both of them undefeated this stage on it. And even throughout this, they're both 3-0 and Corrode as well. We're going to have some bangers, and I'm thinking it's got to be a bit of a longer series.
This is the perfect map to kick off this series. Both teams absolutely have it set as their home in 2025. NRG's defense here has been so solid. They bested Cloud9 to get to this spot just yesterday. This was the third map in the series. They've won it out in narrow fashion, impressive fashion.
Something we saw against C9 is SEN really happy to fight aggressively for Mound, for Rubble on this attack side of the map, and then hit the site hard.
Now this is the anchoring duo you do not want to run into if you are SEN on attack. Scuba and Brock lock down sites together. They are so potent, so tough to deal with.
Something I'm going to be tracking as well is if NRG are going to be giving up these sites to, like, you know, Omen TP plus Satchel forward from Sentinels, or if they're going to fight them as they're trying to execute. That's an adaptation C9 made that worked in their favor.
Sentinels have been able to insert their Vice Zelsis pretty deep over towards that Mound side to rework now on A. Mata is hungry to get some information, just pushing all the way out through B. This might be an unexpected flank.
Bangs got his knife out. No, makes the switch to the weapon. Mata. Bang! Paranoia connects. Mata's in trouble. Backs away. Lucky to do so while still alive. Now some pressure coming into the B side. It's going to be Brock. You can only look on as Mata is cut down by a ghost. And what's there to see on the other side here? Massive damage on the crackback. Narrate's already fallen, and Zekken has seen better days.
Sentinels just do not know where to go. There's only 15 seconds. They're stuck right now. Ethan's swinging in. They're all so low.
They get what they were looking for. Play swung out into them, but it's down to Bang now, who just can't connect against Scuba. Just as you foreshadowed, locking down those sites. And NRG get themselves a pistol to start this series off.
You hate to go up against an NRG starting on defense and they get the ball rolling with the pistol round win. That can often be a recipe for a dominant map win. That is something we have seen countless times in this NRG Stage 2 run to champions. Sentinels just didn't know where to turn in that round. You know, they felt like they had Mata caught, exploited his positioning, but they ended up just walking into a sack, into a trap of NRG. And that has resulted in them just having 5 classics on this second round.
As is customary for this map, no early force for Sentinels. They will just pay the piper for this second round, going up against a Marshall for Mata, and he's up here at Rubble.
In contrast to what we're likely going to see from SEN when they win a pistol round in this series, NRG, they did not go for the 5 stingers. That has been Sentinel's go-to second round buy. But NRG have pretty much fully forced up here.
They did have Cloud9 do it to them on Corrode, but that obviously was not a great map for the boys in blue. NRG familiar with that force strategy we're starting to see creep in a bit more. Scuba's going to be waiting on the other side of this dark cover for a judge here. They're not going to be ready for it, but despite being hit with the vulnerable, they come through in seconds, able to trade the kill instantly. Zelsis able to plant here as there's a smoke that's going to hold NRG at bay towards Waterfall, and only just now, Halls is being cleared by a Prowler for Ethan.
Psalm with potential to get some serious spam damage done. Does have the Guardian, but Zelsis is going to be safe with that plant. Just tucked a little bit low. And Zekken has to be the hero with the hero judge that's been picked up. The one weapon.
They're not going to have any smokes anymore to cover him, though, Wyatt. When this one expires, he will be vulnerable. Narrate picked off here. What a timing. Just the one. Brock being taken down, and now 2 players with nothing but classics, and Mata is waiting for things to get a little bit frothy on the site. That's a Paranoia that caught onto Zelsis, and he couldn't assist. Bang now, no amount of right click is going to help him against the Stinger. That's NRG taking 3 weapons out of the round.
Good pause there from NRG to stabilize in the 3 versus 2. Get that haunt thrown by Ethan. Saw him able to play off of that. Mata still just holding the angle on the flank. Get the info on those last couple players. Chaotic for but a moment, but they end up standing strong. Scuba was just overwhelmed, even with the judge. Just too many people to actually deal with.
I should have killed way more than one.
Yes.
I should have killed way more than one.
But it's all good. They still got the round.
Again, sometimes you're dealing with an element like Zekken.
Unfortunately, though, because NRG did invest everything into that round, losing a couple players, the buy looks not not the best. It's not weak, but it's not particularly strong for NRG. We'll see if Mata can get something accomplished with this Guardian.
Sen not super aggressive in his early stages. Obviously, John will look to play around his lurk wall, and there is a sheer thrown ahead of him. On to B pretty early are Sentinels. Maybe trying to draw out some of that util, but it's all been concentrated on the C side of the map. That's where Brock has mostly set it up. But now it's only Som there.
Wanted to get that sheer activated towards B, but it's over here on C. Bang stalled up, as is Zekin, just halted at Bend on account of the paranoia. NRG are fast to rotate right now. Are they going to attempt to flood back in, though, off the spike tap?
Already on the site is Som. So obviously not the best weapon to be working with here, but if he can try and close the gap, he'll be a little more favored. Dark cover still in play. See now encroaching 3 players over towards that waterfall side. Zekin's got a nice little off angle here as the paint shells do explode towards that site. There's no plant yet. Sentinels have been disrupted in getting it down.
They just need to draw out all of this utility and then find a safe moment to plant, but is it actually going to come?
No, not with Ethan right up here with the Bulldog, and he sings out for 2. Dark cover doesn't bloom nearly quickly enough for Bang. He is taken down. This gun round for Sentinels starting to falter. And Zelsus is stuck on the side. Getting off it is not an option, and frankly, there's not a whole lot that John could do for him right now.
There's still just not been a moment where they can even try to get the spike down. Now they just want to bait out NRG players, but they're going to swing all together and just absolutely crush the remaining SEN forces. That was a beautiful defense of that C site. The cycles of utility that were coming from NRG to delay and delay and delay that plant, and eventually SEN feeling like they need to get more proactive, just push into multiple players facing.
Damn, these smokes are insane, bro.
See that shit?
And
Reminder, that's a round where they take a Guardian, a Judge, and another like half weapon into.
I did want to draw attention as well to, the way that those smokes were being placed by Som. It was just allowing NRG to retain all of that backside control. Sen had 0 space to work with.
This is a pretty characteristically NRG take on the round. 2 Odins in play. Brock is always going to pick himself up one when he can, but it's Ethan who again opens up. Last round was by Waterfall. This time catches a player crossing. Jeez, just a paltry collection of sheriffs for Sentinels to hang their hat on. No presence in tree. Would still have to get past Som, who is admittedly low, but has that Odin to spam with.
Ethan really does play a masterful fade on this map. Scuba loves to take timings out of C for these big flanks, by the way. Just goes 1 for 1. Not ideal, but the remaining SEN players are at such low HP. This one is as good as done.
He may have wanted to snake bite a little deeper on that corner. Still, NRG will be happy enough with this. There's really nothing for Sentinels to do. They have, of course, been able to recover a weapon. And Sen's pretty standard approach on this map, right, is to, you know, get the Rays onto C, Omen TP across. They sort of draw out that sheer wall if they go to C. And on A, they do like to fight for rubble. But running into Odins, I think, is going to be a problem for them.
The timing on Ethan's util defensively on this map is just always so consistent. Again, just perfect moment for the haunt, gets 2 pings. I mean, look, Sen were pretty much down and out in this round already, but it's a little moment like that, a little util piece like that, that is just the inevitable nail in the coffin.
One stat that I'm seeing a lot from NRG and Ethan especially, he's 12-5 first kill, first death against C9. And on Corrode on defense, he's 5-0. So often taking first contact, even sometimes playing off his own haunts. This guy, obviously, his util usage gets talked up a lot, but mechanically, he's been astounding over the last couple of weeks of playoffs too.
He has been really fantastic. When I think back to that game as well, against Leviathan, where they crushed them, he was a critical factor all around, but his fragging was really on point. Sun have a second crack at a buy round now, and they've worked Zekin up to having that showstopper, the all-important ultimate when you're playing attack side on Lotus. Can he get some value extracted with it to finally get sent around win? That is going to be the question. It's NRG's anchoring duo over towards C, the brick wall of Scuba and Brock.
This is a really standard Sen look, but Zekin actually paths in the direction of Waterfall instead, but there's no backup whatsoever.
And it looked like he was just fully blinded up by the arc rose that Brock had towards the site. Now what can Sen do? Narrate one away from the Nightfall. Maybe he could find a kill somewhere, have that late in the round. There's still a minute to play with. Shearwall thrown down in main there. Is also going to take his time retreating.
There's no info. You notice that John was playing really passive towards that A side. He was practically at Mound himself. So this all has to be re-cleared now with 45 seconds left in the round.
Now SEN gets to have a thrilling time going to the other side of the map where there is also an Odin player. NRG love to hit you with a double Odin. The Brock is going to have it constantly, and then Som will pick it up occasionally as well.
Super to spot it out. Yeah, bang.
Damage. Look at the damage.
Narrate chunk down. Itano loses out over towards the B side of the map. Still a chance for a double back there for Scuba. He can reinforce, and now it's just spam. SEN do not get a fair fight here as they head over towards the B side. There is 12 seconds left to play. A smoke towards upper at least to give them a plant opportunity, but Zelsis needs to watch these corners. There is another Odin player trained on them.
Som still has a paranoia to get back in. Couple smokes as well to cover up some of these angles. Zelsis would have to go off here, but he's going to get fully blinded up and just deleted.
I'm sorry, but like these blinds have been perfect. First the arc throws over on the C side that stops second in its tracks, and then a fantastic paranoia that gets them in here to B. And that's only bang at 13 points of health. Not a lucky number for anybody. And Brook gets the Odin to work.
Just spraying through the walls, gets that easy final kill. NRG do a great job retaking with the man advantage situation there. Modest sending himself in to break the crosshair so they can just keep trading down with the number advantage that they had. Yeah, their second just getting fully flashed up. Can't do a thing.
I mean, that Nightfall sort of comes in around it, but...
Oh yeah, Narrate just missed that timing a little bit off the mark for the dark cover. Came to obscure that view from sight.
Both of Scuba's challenges are against blinded players.
Good space, Adam. Good job, bro.
He's been set up incredibly well.
This team is just world-class on defense. There's no other way to say it. They are up there with the absolute best in the world. I mean, this is really just a talking point that I feel like the desk keeps going back to, and it is a reasonable one. Like, we'll see some excellent NRG attack halves yesterday on Lotus to close out against C9. They didn't have the defense half that they would have wanted, right? But if you're thinking about an NRG team that can have this level of defense and more consistency with the level of attack that they had, you know, to close out that game against C9, that is what feels like a top-tier team across the globe.
Now, bearing in mind, this is a potentially long series. Best of 5. Sentinels, though, had a strong start yesterday on Bind against G2 and then fell away. This time now, they're going to have to dig already for a timeout to find a way to manufacture some upward momentum in this game. Second's been hitting his shots, and again, he's been set up to get into these sites, but the standard, the standard hit towards C hasn't worked out on either occasion here for Sentinels. They need to find an edge somewhere else on the map.
On this round, they have very powerful ultimates to play with in regard to taking the site, and then, you know, you could use the pit in the post plant. Make things very easy.
Brockting on?
Oh, and perfect timing on the spam. Zelsis is down to 20. Feels like he's damn near out of the round already.
Truly an intuition Brock has. That's a ton of free damage that really can't be remediated here. Door toggled, eyes over towards the C side of the map, but I tell you what, Scuba really has locked that down over the last few rounds, and now it's just Marta who's been left there with a sheer wall and a poison orb to play off. We've got that Steel Guarded and the Nightfall here for Sentinels to work with, so plenty of tools. They just need to get off to a good start at one of these hits.
Center trying to prod towards C, throwing some utility over back towards Bend. Narrate's now taking some spam damage. These players are getting dangerously weak before an execute even comes. Som has been retaining this forward position towards Rubble the entire round. More spam, more damage, more delay with the paranoia. Right, I mean, this is miserable,
There's got to be a setup here as well. Something that's not just raw contact from SEN. In they come!
Great haunt. And now actually the pit is being thrown down by Scuba. Full intention of anchoring this A site hard.
And that's a lot of that stall utility gone with Som off the table already. They're going to play into the Viper's pit now with that Nightfall Steel Guard and also being committed to that extent.
That's why Scuba's got the shorty though. John getting close and going to get felled.
Picks him off, but now that's been given away. Zeka needs to try and find a way to get that tube, but doesn't check his left, and upwards Brock!
Down A.
And he just burns them down. Sentinels come into the round with Zelsis being down to 23, and now that's how they're going to exit it, apparently. Nothing will be done here. It's a 6-0 drubbing thus far.
multiple ultimates exchanged for just the one of NRG. A great trade deal, really, for Scuba. Just gets the Viper's Pit in exchange for the Steel Garden and the Nightfall being used. This is why he's got the shorty. I'm assuming everyone on NRG has a shorty in the kit. This is brutal. Oh, with the oh god, man.
Oh, he's already 1 HP. I spammed him.
Oh, I spammed all 5. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, I get.
It's criminal how much damage they're doing early round with these Odins. Actually criminal.
And they don't know it until they actually take contact like that and realize, wait a minute, we've actually already won the round without knowing it.
That's why they're getting long-range shorty kills.
Sentinels, I don't think they've had to play up against this on their 5-0 Lotus run in Stage 2. This is a little new for them, and the problem for them against G2 is it just took them too long to come up with the answer.
Maybe that's the kill that can, well, I was going to say, get them back in the game, get them in a round. Maybe they can win something out here, and hey, maybe they still can. It is a 4-on-4. They have recovered a rifle. They are finally getting the spike down, which has hardly ever been the case. They've been getting denied before even getting into the sites.
Okay, Viper's Pit here is a good look. Of course, a lot of spam potential, though, towards that side with Odin in play. But a nice boombot used to actually make it impossible for Brock to spray as the spike was being planted earlier.
Sen do have some further delay. They have one molly for John, still a nade for Zekin, a seize for Narrate that goes out and does catch on to Mata.
Still guarded here for Brock. He's going to let it go straight away. No targets really in his vicinity here. And NRG are going to have to commit a little bit more to have a defuse opportunity here. In goes Mata out straight away as Narrate cleans him up with a classic. Brock only able to find a little bit there, and NRG staved off the site. The Viper's Pit, too much to overcome. Consolation there for Ethan as Sen finally get another on the board.
But John's able to get out with one weapon. They got that Odin carried over. Viper's Pit paying massive dividends for Sen. Can finally breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief that they're on the board.
Costly round for them though, Wyatt.
But they go into it with absolutely nothing. Mata felt like he needed to make so much space. They didn't really have the tools energy to get into that pit effectively. So he ends up just throwing his life away. Everyone else pushes in. They're getting decayed down, low HP. It's a tough situation. Mata's actually gone over to the AWP, by the way. Oh, taste of his own medicine.
Yep, Narek got the Odin in his hands and it works both ways.
Well, how far are we pushing up with the AWP there? That is madness from Mata.
They're going face sniping. That was quick shooting. More Odin spam for you. This time Brock trying to catch Sen as they cross. That's a lot of damage, man.
Scuba's trying to rotate really fast over towards A as well. You can see he's already positioned in heaven. Ethan is going to be behind him. They're ready to stop Sen from planting.
Yeah, they're ahead of this. I don't know if Sen realizes how fast they are, and Scuba cleans them up. What a transfer! And Delsis is up close on the side with nothing but an op to work with. He'll get double swung, and Ethan will clean him up. 7-1, just as Sen come up for Ed, just as they start to get some weapons over to their side, and Odin for Narrate opens the round. It's all been stripped away again.
This team is genuinely just astoundingly good on defense. Their timings are always perfect. Their anchoring together is just beautiful. Like Ethan rotating back to get with Scuba. They flood out right when the spike is being tapped. They lose a player immediately, and it just does not matter. And Mata goes for a crazy aggressive play. Wouldn't advise that.
Look at
Goes 1 for 1. I mean, even if Scuba doesn't get this second snap kill, I think Ethan's like basically guaranteed to get it. Yeah, he's right behind him.
Scooby. I'm whipping the shorty shots, bro.
Insane. They're so decisive. And it's not just that they're decisive, it's that they're making the right decisions too on defense as to when they need to be anchoring hard, when they need to just stall with utility.
One of the things that Zelsis was saying about NRG is that he felt that they played a little too by the book, too standard, like a mini G2, but I don't know. Something about these last couple of rounds feels like there's an intangible that only NRG really bring into their games.
Yeah, I don't think G2 buy quite as many Odins either.
Oh, no, there is that. Yeah, that's
also
more of an outward thing, but yeah. Yeah, but Sen really being just locked out of the map entirely. Just trying to get in on the extremities is costing them players or large amounts of health in general. And that double Odin play is still in place. Mata's also got that operator still in his possession. And Sen have nothing. I mean, I don't know what this buy is supposed to resemble.
Well, it's going to be hero rifle for Zekin, who is inching fairly close to getting his second showstopper of the half. First one did not get any value on account of the defensive utility just stopping him. Oh my god, Mata up top, switches up the positioning.
Perfectly plays above that Viper wall from Sentinels.
I think Mata is the most lethal opera we have right now in Americas, especially in terms of just consistently hitting the harder to hit
shots for me.
Yeah, he will hit anything that enters anywhere in the periphery of his monitor. He is going to hit you with a flick shot.
Anything the light touches is our Kingdom Simba vibes.
He is insane right now with that weapon.
Tucked in the corner is Scuba, and Zelsis, frankly, is hoping to tease out some Sentinel utility on that site, but he has to wager his health in order to do it. That's a nice opening here for Bang. That singular hero rifle dropped from Zekken's hands, now over to Bang, has given him a way in, or at least started to draw Ethan. Keep him at this A side of the map, but maybe allow for something at C.
Oh my god. That is a little dangerous for Nere.
Go to one, yeah.
Sen have been having some troubles dealing with getting those shear walls out earlier in rounds. Teleport in for the information on Brock, and well, that Haunt is definitely going to give the information. He's Ben, guys, for sure.
It's only been confirmed. The rate's taken more random spray damage, by the way, down to 55. 20 seconds left in the game. That Razor Vine means a Sen cannot accelerate into this B side of the map, and that smoke's going to expire.
Now just down to 15 seconds. Ethan still has a Seize that can be thrown here as well when they're going in through main. Yeah, and there's a caught, and what a shot.
Comfortable spray transfer. John is hit by that paranoia. He can't explode through the wall either, so he waits for the fight to come to him. But that's it. That's all she wrote. 2 rifles out of the round is all Sentinels can hope for, but they fall further and further behind this NRG, who are immovable.
I demand what I'm owed.
I feel like we might get a hot mic about that last one. We'll see. I would not, again, not advise that play. Wasn't necessary. Just more value from some of this Ethan util. Second having to adjust the crosshair.
While he's shooting a haunt at the time.
Yeah. And Mata just shifting into...
I mean, if Scoo's going for knife kills, I'm down.
Oh, we did, and we got it. and we got the hot mic that I was looking for.
How did we get here already?
And yep, there's your Odin damage, bang down to 46 HP. This is just misery for Sen, man.
But this was a fixture of Lotus play last year.
You got to keep your mental intact
Yes.
when you're going up against this, because it is unbelievably frustrating to just be taking this damage every single round before you can even see an enemy, before you get to play Valorant.
It's going to require some adjustments of these first 10 to 20 seconds of the round from Sentinels. So that showstopper you mentioned, Zekken's been able to build it up. The opportunity to get close enough to use it, that's more of a question. Nobody in tree, so no Odin spam from that part of the map at the very least. And Zelsis has been inserted towards that seaside. Man, it just feels like a grind for Sen to get any kind of map control.
Trying to pivot back now towards this A side. Ethan had been throwing his prowlers towards B main, and the paranoia is sent out to give Ethan an opportunity to get out of door, get behind this wall, switch up the positioning. This is very aggro from him, but I like it. The only issue is he doesn't really have someone to play off of him yet. You can see Sam is trying to get over to assist.
For now, he will remain in this little pocket dimension, but that wall's going to come down, and John QT's back is going to be turned. It's an easy pick for Ethan now, as the Nightfall comes onto the A side. Very deep are Sentinels already.
And as that's happening, Ethan gets his one, Sam just gets out of there, and he's ready to group up with the rest of the team to now just play for a 5-on-4 retake. A good decision from that NRG Omen, and now it's just waiting for everybody to group up.
How do they get in, though, with an Operator and 2 Odins? It feels a little bit awkward. Oh, Ethan spotted! That is dirty! That is absolutely filth!
Yeah, I guess just by isolating 1v1 kills, that would be the way. Narrate's in on sight and just takes all that damage through the box.
They're getting boxed in, surrounded.
Come on!
Yeah. Duel on Bang now. Nothing to work with, and doesn't see his assailants as he drops.
Thanks.
Frankly, folks, this has been a walkover thus far. And an anemic attack side for Sentinels gives way under NRG's defense retakes.
Oh my god, just the remaining 2 players, Bang at 40 HP, who got spammed 1 second into the round. Narrate spammed to the box. This was an awesome little micro play in the mid-round, though, from NRG, working Ethan into that position, touch box,
shoulder peek,
playing off of their Viper wall, going up and down.
You should have just seen what I did to Narrate, bro. This guy's pissed, bro.
I wouldn't say he's thrilled. I don't know, man. Yeah, that Ethan shoulder pick to unravel Zelsis at that little rubble spot for me was the killer. Off in the hands of Mata, this time over towards the C side of the map, prowled off the angle, and we'll give the side over to Scuba, who's been pretty difficult to dig out himself.
Just after being instantly revealed in terms of the AWP positioning, Mata is ready to adjust straight away. Psalm and Ethan duo has been rock solid over towards this A side. Feels like no matter where Sen go, they are running into a wall.
He's playing Power Wash Simulator in tree.
Here's the thing, AWP adjusted early. Oh my god, that is so dangerous. Mata can't hit that shot. Would have required a crazy reaction.
Crazy indeed. Oh, he misses the showstopper though. Follow up the paint shell is going to give Mata all the room he needs to get back up to heaven. Narrate though punches him. He's not quite in position.
Now, here's the thing, they're pivoting right back into Scuba, who has a utility to play off of on account of Brock. Trying to retain this position in Bang, teleport in from Bang.
There's a sheer wall though still. That might buy a little bit of time, but the TP across is there for Bang, and now it's only Brock who doesn't want to overcommit to this for now. His teammates are so far away.
30 seconds left.
So some spam, maybe try and punish, but he's going to get double swung in a moment here. Still got a dink by the looks of things. Bang is healthy enough. And now one by one, the Odins are being stripped from the hands of NRG.
Finally just able to make a late round pivot to a lightly held site. They were still in some danger, with Scuba having some of that util from Brock to play off of, but just wasn't aware that Bang had teleported close and crouched tucked.
Last round.
Catches him out when he's trying to stuff them at the choke. It's not over just yet for Sen. 3 rounds in a pistol, they could be back in the game.
Oh man, that's 0 from 2 on showstoppers for second. But again, these early round protocols are looking a little better from Sentinels, right? Look at how they played against the op on that C side of the map.
Oh, John.
Send a Prowler, smoke it off. Boombot thrown in after it to deny that from Mata.
Haven't seen that in a while from NRG. Mata has pushed up so far off the back. Teleport across from Bang into the dark cover, and he just doesn't expect it.
An instant 1-for-1, but Ethan's going to spray down through that Viper's wall. And a second picked up. Sentinels had a lot of hope in this round to at least make it 9-3, but already cut down to 2. They're going to have to head to the C side of the map, and that sharpshooting for Zelsis to open up the account, give them a way in.
That was a pretty sick reaction shot from Zelsis. That had to be real fast.
Well, if you're going to double your frags, you may as well do it in style.
Yeah, that was a pretty big impact kill. Hopefully he can find 3 more in this round. Desperately needed. Nightfall's going to come in and connect onto John. He's going to let that pit down.
Finds 15, spotted out over towards the top of the site. Zelsis has been him this round, but another spray down kill for Ethan. Clearly doesn't have to see his opponents to bring them down. And John inside the pit will get run up on by both of these players, and Brock is able to respond. A 10-2 first half on Lotus. That's a grim sign for Sentinels fans.
Just overwhelmed by the numbers. NRG's defense is just stellar. What more can you say? Even just on the final round, they add a different layer, a different way to play an aggressive rubble look. Having Mata with the rifle push all the way down to that corner. Ethan getting all the way back rubble. Individually, he is hitting some snappy shots right now. The amount of little 2K adjustment on the second shot kills we've seen from Ethan, they've been sick.
Tell you what, a very difficult start here for Sentinels. You can see that frustration on Kaplan's face. He wasn't happy after their match yesterday. Bonkar, though, very pleased with himself. Haikyuu fans will recognize this as a dumpster battle between Karasuna and Nekoma, and it's the little giant from NRG, Ethan, at 16-5. We'll be back with more Lotus after this.
I know what you're thinking. Total glow up. What's her secret? Fine, I'll spill. I totally upgraded with Verizon. Everyone gets a free phone with any plan, even if you're already a customer, like me. Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket. Gemini, what eye makeup goes with this lipstick?
I'd suggest a classic cat eye.
Wow, setting the bar high for daycare pickup. Get in on this.
It's an 8-round difference. A brutal first half for Sentinels, who on the attack side of Lotus honestly have really plied their trade in dominance over stage 2. But the double Odin gets brought into the game so early, Wyatt, and they are basically cut down to 3 players, at least in terms of health, in the first 10 seconds of most of these rounds.
Yeah, it genuinely felt like it might have been every single round since the Odins got online that there was at least one SEN player who is made to feel irrelevant because they were at such low HP, basically out of the gate.
Careful here.
NRG were just making all of the right decisions in terms of the late rounds, and now it's just on them to close things out on this attack half. They only need 3 rounds to take Lotus. The home map of both teams, but SEN the one opting to pick it first.
Yep, and yesterday it was a good start into a collapse. Today it's a slow start into God knows what. SEN don't know if they're coming or going, frankly. Marta, though, already got himself up on this site. There's been an exchange, an encounter, and Ethan and Bang get traded out.
John not really able to keep any of that backside space, so it's going to have to be a full retake. But that being said, NRG, they can't really control anything too forward, right? So Zekin has an opportunity to flush some of these players out with the nade when he gets here. Narrate still has a full kit. There are good tools for SEN to make this happen.
Haunt here, cleared. Marta tucked on boxes, biding his time. That Haunt now might be a problem, has to be dealt with. Zekin healthy enough to push around a corner. On the other hand, Som quite low from much of the shrapnel he's been taking from these paint shells. Punching out Z's, the Sentinels, Zelsis and Zekin getting involved. And isolated out towards Mound is Scuba with nothing to do. SEN maintain their perfect 50% pistol win rate per map here.
Really comes down to having that util on retainer. Narrate just still with that one prowler, sees Haunt. Second has the nade as well. Couple up some of those util pieces, sync them up back site where they knew all of NRG were. They didn't push into waterfall. They couldn't take Hall's control.
Nice, boys.
And on a pistol round, having just enough utility like that of significance can mean so much. And that's exactly what happens right there. Here comes the patented SEN Stinger Buy with the rare Bulldog from Bang.
Why? Because Bang is probably wanting to play the longer line on the A side of the map. We'll probably see Narrate fold in the direction of B, or even across to C should it be required, so those Stingers will be getting their value. Looks like we're just going to run it down. Walking up through smoke. Zelsis is about to be sorely tested. Sheer will, of course, going to be active, but everyone gets straight through. Zelsis, though, sharp as you like. See, satchel up on the side by Marta, and John Elise is going to be able to recover. Big damage, though. Scuba gets in there. And there you have it. NRG just, well, they're here for a good time, not a long time.
Pretty clean, but also SEN love buying the Stingers because, hey, if you lose a couple players, honestly, it doesn't really matter. You basically invested little to nothing into the round anyhow.
Makes for a weird bonus, though, if you're already behind by a significant amount. There's probably going to be a couple of Stingers still in the arsenal for Sentinels now against the full buy of NRG.
One enemy remaining.
Important, though, brick by brick. Heard him say it yesterday. Now that Axiom didn't quite get them far enough to make it into the grand finals, but still just as relevant here.
Som already with the Odin on attack. SEN played it very proactively there early towards the mound side. Don't see anything, so they can assume that NRG are really stacked up towards that A side. They're rotating quite quickly right now, with Zekin getting to stairs. Bang gonna have his work cut out for him backside. Paranoia offering some delay, offering time for the rotators to get here.
Yeah, allowed Narrate to get there, but it's a great Paranoia coming out of tree to shut down that close stinger player. Som in a lengthy trade. But Zekin and Bang get felled. John here in trees, very little to see now, of course, with SEN's retake wall being active. And now that rubble control here for NRG in the post plant means that SEN have nothing to do. I think it's just a straight save.
Yeah, it is time to save. They had a couple investments. Specifically, it's Zelsis who died on that prior round with the Stinger, now going for the full rifle, only having 200 credits. He's got to save. NRG feels like they just get a round win on account of the SEN buy being pretty weak. You know, even though they got to that site, they had some good delay utility coming through. You know, specifically into tree, that Paranoia was effective from Bang. You can see the second was there on time, but ultimately they don't have the arsenal to deal with that.
The counter Paranoia on Narrate was very good. Also a paint shell that forced Bang from actually being able to swing off. Narrate there, actually disjointing both the A anchored players with Stingers, making it hard to get value out of those. So NRG just trot to 11 rounds. Sentinels maintain those 2 rifles, but it's not going to get any easier, folks.
Some nice kills there from Psalm. Will spray onto the second, and yeah, a little unlucky to be at the range with some of those guns.
He's running in, he would do anything for that kill.
So bro's got some stats to bat. Like last time NRG were in a stage final, he was in that game. The only player from this current roster. That was against Lao, but they got 3-0'd back in 2023.
Dangerous there for Brock. Goes down to 65 HP. Psalm going to teleport across towards Rubble. Your standard opening attacker. Util to get that space. Sen very active again on the minimap, prodding towards B. And then it's second on the quick rotate towards A, trying to support Narrate, who's just holding down Tree. I mean, losing out the spam battle to the Vandal, things are getting a little messy.
The traces are a little bit dangerous here for Narrate. He knows it. Regen shield, so he's expecting to take some incidental damage as he goes anyway. Here's that Prowler in towards the B side of the map, and Marta's going to follow it up. Nothing to see, though.
NRG are really trying to divide the attention of Sentinels by getting active back in B main, knowing it had been re-cleared by the defenders earlier. But Sen content still towards this A site. Narrate can't get anything accomplished, though, against Psalm. Sen are trying to get in there to back up Bank, and they do it in time.
Yes, from upper there's going to be a couple of Sentinels players in position, but the smoke is there. So for now, yep, we're going to be isolated on the site. Zek can have the drop down and fight, and Bang is still standing though. Anchored deep in A, but this is enough for NRG. Now they're going to make the pivot, but Zelsus stands in their way, and Som falls flat. And Zelsus gets away from this spam coming his way. Little Swing might find him something, but he's caught inside the season. Brock comes out with the corner spray. Now we'll see NRG into a post climber, 3 up. Bang healthy, but a high-low setup. Unravels him, and he's going alone. There's no backup at all. Straight into the jaws of a trap that NRG had laid in wait.
Now John jumping up, but he's caught between so many different players. Scuba just biting his main. Brock just spamming away. Oh my god, man.
Which cardinal point would you like to be shot by? Brock steps up. And that at least confirms that John wasn't on the spike. Eventually Scuba will come for him, 12-4. Brock at 17-6.
Crazy stat line. And how many of those are spamming kills through corners, through walls? How many were honest gun duels, Mitch?
It depends, yeah.
2?
It depends how much that matters to you, I guess.
It is. It's crazy how good he is with this weapon. That's why, listen, you're going up against NRG. You don't want to be on Lotus, you don't want to be on Ascent, and you don't want to be on Corrode. Because Brock is going to make your life.
Brock is actually going to make me cry, bro.
He's going to make them cry. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
Tom loves Honest Valorant too, I guess. All right, Rubble fight. Sen fancy it. Going to move up and take that space, but NRG are completely elsewhere. They are loaded here into Mound. And Zelsus knows he needs to play ahead of this. He can't give up the site while he's holding on to Wajutsu. In we go. Marta instantly will topple. And NRG don't really want to follow it up. They actually have some having TP'd across, but it might just be an insert for now.
John got there really quick to throw some mollies down at that choke, so no one could actually help Marta. After they've expired, though, NRG want to walk their way back in. Zelsus could get the Steel Garden connecting up to every single player. And there
Brock has one as well, though. Both teams have Steel Gardens to play, so no primaries for either side. Good old-fashioned Honest Valorant, just like you asked for, Wyatt. It's John inside Halls with the classic. Zelsus with a bundle, trying to make it worth its weight in gold. But Brock shortly claims it. And they're out of there. Oh, come on!
I can't. What are we watching, man? What game is this?
I mean, that is Valorant's version of a fadeaway, isn't it?
This is what they mean when they say Valorant child's game, man. This is what they mean.
Give me dark corridors.
Where are the dark corridors? Oh my god. Well, they've gotten this A site for free, NRG. It's going to come down to a full 3-on-3 retake. No ults to speak of.
Okay. Should Sen manage to stay alive here, I'll have to be dealing with a showstopper in the next, so that's something to bear in mind. But so far, a pretty pitiful 4 rounds is all they've been able to scrape together. And they're hardly to be considered advantaged in this retake. Zekin drops in the pit. The Haunt won't see a darn thing. Ethan sat here over towards the stair side, and Scuba's going to find a timing, because of course you will seize the shoulder of Zekin and pounds him down. Jeez, that wasn't even close. Bang, it's been pretty quiet, pretty absent. Now needs to step into the spotlight, but time is short, and Scuba is shorty. Well, Not exactly the auspicious way I think that Sentinels were hoping to start this series off, but you don't get to write the story sometimes.
Sometimes it's also just how it goes when you start against NRG on defense, and especially on Lotus. Brock ends that game 19-6, Ethan 18-8, Scuba with 14 kills. The Scuba-Brock duo anchoring together on this map, genuinely incredible. They are a brick wall. You cannot get past those two guys. And the way that Ethan is able to get so much valuable information and find so much